Let me now welcome my other friend, my brother, Mheshimiwa Cabinet Secretary for Interior, Mheshimiwa Murkomen. Karibu.
I will also be, thank you very much. I'll be very brief. To the family of our friend and our brother, Captain Ruto, my colleagues, the Cabinet Secretary is present, the Governor of Nakuru, my friend, Honorable Susan Kiika, and our colleagues, governors, members of Parliament, friends of Captain Ruto and family, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Or maybe I should make my remarks first, then I will introduce my two colleagues and then invite CS Davis Chirchir, who will in turn make his remarks and give us the condolences of His Excellency the President. First, tumekuja hapa kuomboleza na wewe Captain, kusema pole sana kwa kupoteza msichana wako na wewe mama na ndugu zake plus a sister who is not here. I really feel for you. It's a very painful moment. Wakati watoto hao walikuwa wanatoa tributes, I really felt the pain because as a parent, you look at the age of your daughter. She was just passing through the teenage years, and these are very young people, bubbly, focusing on their lives. And we want to say poleni sana. Poleni sana sana. As a parent, it must be very painful. I can never forget the words of Captain Ruto himself. He called me. I think he had just called Davis, and then he called me. And then he said, Waziri, nimepata ajali. Alafu, the next thing is, I thought, okay, that's fine, because if you can still speak, it's okay. Then he said, I think I've lost my daughter. That was very painful. And we were with other members of Parliament discussing other things of this MD, the other MD. And so when I came in, I had many of the agencies within the ministry at that time had certain challenges, including KAA and other places. And so we said we quickly need to make sure that we advertise and get a proper full-time MD. So when we advertised for his position, so many people came to me, not him, other people. And all of them were from Coast. They're telling me, if you want to change the port, give the job to Captain Ruto. If you want to change the port, give the job to Captain Ruto. So I said, which Captain Ruto? Of course, I had a number. His brother who spoke here was my agent when I was campaigning. So I knew the family from a distance, but I didn't know they were even closely related to Captain Ruto. So when Captain Ruto now, I asked someone, when one of the functions, who is Captain Ruto, I was told this guy who runs the Kisumu part. But he was dressed in doesn't even wear a suit. I said, who is your mutu serious? Yeah. So then, and all the people who really wanted him to become MD were from Coast generally. Now, my second problem, which was in my head somewhere, I said, how can I have come in, I am from Rift Valley, and then Isikike, the first thing I have done as a minister, the first MD, and you know the act requires the minister to communicate despite the work of the board. I said, how can I be able to be the first person to get someone from Rift Valley? But not even Rift Valley. Another one, William Ruto. So I said, let them go for interview first. When they went for the interview, the entire board were unanimous. And they came to me, Tayari, the chairman, came and said, my friend, if the port needs to change, it has to be this man. Now, I gazetted. No, I didn't gazette. I did a public announcement, yes, by way of a gazette after the appointment. Na nikasema nizime simu yangu because tumezoea matusi. When his name was announced, there was a big celebration at the port. The entire port of Mombasa. The MPs of Coast, the business people. Hey, I said, Allah. In fact, it's the president who called me and said, kwani huyu mtu anaomba MCA kwa huko watu wamejaa kwa port. And true to the testimony of many of you, Captain Ruto has really transformed. Under his leadership, the port of Mombasa has changed a great deal. We have doubled our throughput. There is a greater efficiency. We work together to make sure that we have piers in Kisumu Port, and you can see the things, the transformation that has happened in the transport sector. Let me say this. If there is something I learned about through Captain Ruto, is that Kenyans are not tribalists. They are not. And the people of course, they are not tribalists. The people of Kenya are looking for competent people to serve them. And if they get, no matter which tribe they come from, they are going to support that person. And I must say, by all means, thank you very much, Captain Ruto, for the work you've done, for providing good leadership in the port. When the accident happened, and we were consulting with CS Davies and others, and we were wondering, can he be brought to Nairobi or does he go to Mombasa? The governor of Mombasa was already there, and they said, we are taking Captain Ruto home. We are going with him, with his daughter, home. And truly, apart from this ceremony here, Captain Ruto is by name a person from this region, but by everything else, is a son of Mombasa, and the Mombasa people love him, and they work together as a team. And I must say, this is really a testimony against all acts of tribalism. The last thing I'd like to say about this is that I really admire your humility, your style of leadership, and your dressing. You don't have to wear a tie to look serious. And you know, that comes, if you see someone who just dresses anyhow and confident, not anyhow, I'm not saying you're so anyhow, but people of course doesn't see the problem, but for us of Bara, tunaona havana. MD lazima ikuwe ni mtu wako na tai, hata jua ikiwaka. But that is also, that demonstrates first your humility, your working relationship with everybody, the ability for you to relate with the old, the young, the big, the small, but more importantly, that you have confidence in your leadership skills and your capacity. And this is one man, I don't know if you know what it means to run the port of Mombasa. There are all kind of characters. To balance this one, and he knows what I'm saying, to balance this as against the other one. And I don't want to mention people's names because I can see them here. It's a very difficult job. And I want to say, for you to have succeeded in that way, that's amazing. But for you to do that, and to still be a father, a responsible father, ready to take your children for holiday, to drive them. You had just come from UK that morning. And to be able to really want to be with your family. The other thing we struggle, those of us who are in public office, is the ability to balance family life and our offices and our political lives. And I must say that for you to be what you are, and also to have meaningful friends. You have really true friends in different parts. And it's also very difficult. I know what it means. I know there are friends that you get because of the office. Yeah? And there is no one who has better testimony than me. When changes happened that July, the one related to my watch, I thought, I used to go to some people and tell them, nitetee kwa mkubwa. Seme hata sina makosa. Kumbe I'm telling the person who wants me to go home. You know? You come and learn later that everybody who was around you because of the office. The rest, one person said, ile jamaa bado hako ama tutume ambulance kwa nyumbani yake. So I have learned a lot in life, and for you to have really true friends like you do, it means that you have cultivated. And I don't know, KPA is a very good employer. Most of its GMs are 27 years, 28, 29, and I'm sure you have reached 30 years working for KPA. And so if you continue doing the good job, it's going to also inspire other people. Lastly, before I welcome my colleagues and introduce them, I was buying time kidogo, but I think the person I was buying time for amefika. as a country, let me say this as I sit. One, Senator Aaron said something important. We need to respect families when we come to ceremonies like this and become very, very mindful of the ceremony that we attend. But also, it is also important to be respectful to His Excellency the President. The function that happened in Nyandarua was extremely unfortunate. And as a minister whose responsibility includes government protocol, even though the President allowed all those people to speak, I think they were out of tune, they were disrespectful, not to William Ruto as a person, but to the office of the President as the office of the President. And I'm saying this with respect because midway tulikosana na President Uhuru Kenyatta last term, myself, Susan, and all of us, there is nowhere we went for a function in the presence of President Uhuru Kenyatta and talked to him the way the Senator of Nyandarua did and some other leaders. There was no day. We maintained decorum and respect because the office of the President is an office that unites everybody in Kenya. It should not be defiled the way we saw the other day, and that is extremely unfortunate. Number two, as we go towards these elections, as leaders, I want to request to all of us to ensure that we put aside politics of violence and goons and gangs. One of the biggest challenges we are facing in the country now is that nearly a good number of elected leaders, including those who are aspiring, are recruiting young people, using them as goons and as gangs for purpose of intimidating their opponents or causing chaos in functions. I must say that we really condemn what happened to Senator Osotsi in Kisumu. It is totally unacceptable. And I am happy to report to you that the DCI arrested 3 of those characters, and by the end of the day today, we will have arrested all the others who have remained. We may disagree politically, but we do not believe that violence is an answer in any way. And I must insist, I saw some of the people who were having a press conference, the opposition leaders, mentioning my PS. I want to dare them that they come out openly and denounce violence and denounce the goons and the gangs and the boys they are walking around with them. And since they have gone public, I want to ask the Inspector General of Police to move with speed and arrest all those boys they are using in their functions so that then it can become a proper example that they believe in this issue of fighting gangs. Some of the most leading characters in recruiting young people to engage in violence are sitting in the opposition and coming to pontificate to the public. That's why they're shifting blame to government officers. We will continue doing our job. We will do it without fear or favor, and we'll make sure that we get rid of this country, of these gangs and goons. Now, I want to close by saying, may the grace of God be with you. May He protect you and protect your family, and may He give you the grace to go through this grief. You, Mama, your husband, and your children, even at this very difficult moment. Now it's my singular duty and pleasure to invite my colleagues to stand here, and I introduce them the way others have been introduced. If I give you to speak, the members of parliament will summon us and say, yeah. So you can see that they are waving. You know Waziri Cheptumo and Hannah Cheptumo played a very critical role in ensuring that we support the family. Thank you very much. I know what you did, and may the Lord bless you. Thank you very much, Waziri. Tuko na Waziri Ruku wa Public Service, Geoffrey Ruku, na yeye pia tunakushukuru sana mheshimiwa kwa kuacha nafasi yako kukuja all the way to this place. And I will allow me with your